Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to try and answer one very simple question. Is Jeremy Clarkson's lager any good? Yes indeed, welcome back to those watching kind of just after release. I'm back from my mini Christmas break, hence the Christmas lights are still kind of up but dialed down a little bit because we're kind of getting back towards something of normality, although it is middle of the afternoon and I'm about to crack open a beer, so still very much in that between Christmas and New Year period where no one knows what day it is. What day is it? I genuinely don't know. But anyway, yeah, I've got a bottle of this Hawkstone lager. Hawkstone, not sure how the intended pronunciation is, but anyway, this has been brewed not by Jeremy Clarkson himself, but from a local brewery to the Cotswolds. It might even be the Cotswold Brewing Company, I forget offhand, but I'm sure it does say on the bottle. But this is lager made in conjunction with Clarkson, although not branded as such, which is interesting. We'll talk about that in a bit. But it's made using malted barley from his farm, for which you became famous through the Amazon Prime Clarkson Farm program. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. So this is made using his crop, basically, so it'll be interesting to get into. Big thanks to Slash UK, who went down to the farm shop on Diddley Squat Farm, which is Clarkson's farm, a few weeks back and picked me up a couple of bottles of this. And I had every intention of reviewing it immediately, but the Christmas countdown kind of took its toll and I just didn't have a chance. So first thing back, Hawkstone Lager, let's find out if it's any good. So before we crack into it, here is a quick look at the bottle. Pretty snazzy design if you ask me. Are we going to focus? There we go. Oh, in and out, come on. You can do it, you can do it. So, nice tight face. This bottle has been bashed around in the post a little bit, so it's not quite as clean maybe as you'd expect, but yeah, not bad looking. Quite modern design, I think it's fair to say. In the glass then, looks like a lager. Solid one finger white head. If anything, slightly light on the head for most lagers. A load of carbonation fizzing around the glass as you'd expect. Now, in the promo shots for this beer, Clarkson is seen drinking it out of what I call like crystal tumblers, tall tumblers, which obviously isn't the ideal glass for this beer, but also made it look very, very flat. Now, I think part of the reason is that actually this might not be, despite how it looks right now, all that carbonated, because the head is pretty reserved, let's say, so I'm not too surprised by that now, in hindsight. Otherwise, yeah, nice, kind of light gold colour. I'm expecting a middle of the road lager, kind of not too fresh, not too bready, just something nice, refreshing, and in the middle. Right then, let's see what the aromas are like. It has a quintessential British lager aroma, and what I mean by that is slightly fresh, slightly grassy, quite minerally from the water. I'm not sure how it's going to come across on the flavour. It certainly doesn't come across as being particularly bready or malt forward. Quite fresh, to be honest. But yeah, it has an aroma that's just, if you ever tried, I think it's called 54 North that Black Sheep Brewery did, and there's a couple of others that just, I don't know. British lager has a thing about it, if that makes any sense, and this has the same thing. So let's get into it. Cheers. It's fresh, it's crisp, it's clean. My initial reaction is there's just maybe a touch of bready malt base missing from this beer, or at least I say missing. Yeah, it is missing it. The balance is slightly off, and it's not bad by any means. In fact, you could drink pints of this stuff. I really would not begrudgingly take on quite a few of these in the middle of summer because it's very refreshing, it's tasty, it's light, it's crisp, there's no off flavours, but it's not a thin or cheap beer in its physical construction, but it does feel on the swallow like it's a bit washed out because it's missing that kind of slight doughy breadiness that you could get out of this style of beer. But I like it. I've got to say I like it. Right, top to bottom taste test. So initially, Mild sweetness. Quite mild carbonation as well on the front of the tongue to say, but as I said, I think this is a flatter lager than most. Next phase, a lot of that slightly drying lager light bitterness that you would expect. After that, the flavour goes very fresh, slightly grassy, very light, summery, minor, super minor floral notes. I mean, really just trying to pick out anything I can to say about it, because ultimately it doesn't have strong flavours in any particular area, and already look, the head on that has vanished. I know we're most of the way through the beer, but to be honest, it's a 330ml bottle, so easy to drink, it simply isn't lasting. And then on the aftertaste, the flavour of that kind of bready malt base that I want in there is present on the aftertaste, which I think is what makes it more annoying, because you kind of go, the malt tastes fantastic, but there's just not enough of it in the flavour profile to really, I guess, fully appreciate it, which is a shame, but it's a great lager. It is a great lager, it's just, it could have been a little bit more. Let's take a look at the bottle. So, Hawkstone Lager, Premium Cotswold Lager, 4.8% ABV, 330ml bottle, hewn from the mineral-rich bedrock of the Cotswold Hills. The Hawkstone, a Neolithic standing stone which gives our lager its name, has stood for generations. The Cotswold brash sword in which it rests is hard and unforgiving, but for those who persist, it yields malting barley of unusually high quality, ideal for brewing. After harvest, our master brewer painstakingly and meticulously combines the barley with select hops, yeast and the purest water possible before allowing it to mature up to 6 weeks, during which time it develops its distinctly clean flavour. Hard to make, easy to drink. Few things there. The comment about the purest water possible, I agree actually, it's very clean, it's super clean beer. There's no sign of any off anything about it, it's really very clean. Mature up to 6 weeks. I think most people agree a proper lager needs to be done longer than that, and that's probably why it's falling down in that solid flavour profile. That, and have they used enough of the barley malt is the other question, but it's annoying because it is super premium actually when you consider all of it is just missing a bit of flavour profile. Right, onto the back of the bottle. Ingredients are water, malted barley, hops and yeast. Contains gluten, 4.8%. Cotswold Brewing Company, College Farm. Yeah, so it's Cotswold Brewing Company. Tastes best when chilled. Important to note that one. And it says, please enjoy responsibly. Normal drink aware stuff. This bottle is good until the 19th of May next year, which means these only have about a 6-month shelf life, which is interesting. But I'd rather they did that and made sure it was always good, to be honest. So, yeah, I mean, what else do I say about this? It's a fairly basic beer. We're only talking about it because Jeremy Clarkson put his name to it, but to be fair, I mean, he made the crops that go into it, so it's not just a branding exercise, because if it was, well, his name would be there and not Hawkstone Lager. He is doing his bit on the advertising front, of course, but this is, I believe, a genuine attempt to create something that's just aided by his name rather than, as I say, just a pure branding exercise running off the back of it. Do I think he's happy with it? Yeah, he probably is. You know what, for most people, and actually this is a good point, if you've got a mate who really can't get into craft beer but drinks lager all the time, slip in one of these. They'll never know. They'll never know. And it might be a really, really easy starting point for someone into more interesting and exciting things. I really like it. I think if I see it on offer, I'll probably buy it. I'm not sure I'll be interested in a case of it for the retail price, if I'm totally honest. Just because the Germans do it slightly better. But it has to be said, it's a solid British lager, definitely worth a go, and if you just want to support Clarkson and his enterprise, then yeah, give it a bash. That really is all I have to say about it there. So as always, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like it. If you haven't already subscribed, if you will be so kind, and I will catch you next time. Cheers.